Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. Today is a very good day. Bitcoin forms a new all-time high. That's right, it is above $63,000. And the crypto market is in full rally mode. Everything is going up. So, what is going on, and is it going to continue? Well, that's what today's stream is all about. So thanks for tuning in. As always, smash it a like, subscribe to the channel. 2 streams every day, 11:30 and 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you hit that notification bell and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. All right, guys, let's do this. It is very, very exciting. I know you guys are feeling pretty good today. So let me change my screen. Those of you guys here, welcome. You know, kind of what I was saying, right? Before the Coinbase IPO, which is a big catalyst, I kind of expect things to be moving. Now, I did expect things to start moving yesterday. It didn't, but it was pretty obvious that something was going to happen because Bitcoin was basically straddling the 60,000 mark for a little bit too long. And this morning, we saw it break above its previous high, about 61, 62. I think, yeah, it doesn't matter. But anyways, it went above. And that's where we are now. Now, we have not gone into full pump mode for Bitcoin yet. It is only up, excuse me, 6%. But I do think the rest of the day, you know what? It's young, and we can see a lot more explosive movement upward. So things are looking pretty good before this huge Coinbase IPO that will happen tomorrow. And yes, literally everyone is talking about it. It is definitely the biggest IPO of this year. Forget Roblox or Airbnb or whatever, DoorDash. It's all eyes are focused on Coinbase IPO. They could be evaluated as high as 100 billion, maybe even higher. And obviously, the better Bitcoin does now, the better it will be for Coinbase. And they timed it perfectly. Not only did they choose 2021, the last year four-year cycle, but also in April, which traditionally is the most bullish month for Bitcoin. So they have just timed it perfectly, right? And we will see. It's about halfway through April. We haven't really seen substantial gains yet. Traditionally, about 20, 30, 40% gains in April. But we have seen so much gains in January, February, and even March, despite people, you know, not liking volatility. But despite that, March was still a very good gain month for Bitcoin. And we haven't seen a real thrust upwards yet for Bitcoin in April. But maybe starting today, we will get that. And next up could be 70,000, which is only 10% from here. It's not like 70,000 is that big of a leap. But 80,000, 90,000, you know, we'll see. Time will tell. So things are looking pretty darn good. And where does Bitcoin rank right now? Well, it's still right under silver, but it's getting pretty darn close. You could see silver did have a 2% day. So went up a little bit, $1.39 trillion. And coin market cap. Why? I don't get that, SP. Why would coin market cap drop to 90 billion? I don't get it. But anyways, Bitcoin is right under 1.2. So roughly 200 billion, right? So Bitcoin rallies up another 10%. You know what? It's pretty much there. Actually, more than that. It's like 20%. But still, you get my drift. I mean, after Bitcoin surpasses silver, then next stop is gold. And that's where a lot of people think it will end up by the end of the year, that Bitcoin will be equal to gold's market cap and maybe even higher. That means Bitcoin needs to go above $500,000 to equal gold. Can it happen this cycle? Or will it just keep going and we're in a super cycle and then just keeps going. Maybe. You know, the fact that Bitcoin is this high, nearing silver and about to pass it, shows you how special it is. It really does. This silver evaluation from market cap is physical and paper combined, right? That's huge. And silver has been around for how many years, and Bitcoin has only been around 12 years, and it's about to surpass it. So definitely very good. Also, what's very good is if you look at CMC, we are definitely at a new high. 2.18 trillion overall, up 5%. And man, things are looking pretty darn good. Now, Binance Coin is taking a breather, not really, down 3%, but you could see XRP is up a staggering 32%. It's right under BNB. And you could see that Cardano's up 10%, 9%, Polkadot up 4%. Uniswap is down because yesterday it went up like 25%. But you have Stellar that's doing very well, following XRP's footsteps, around 16%. You have Dogecoin that's up almost 30%. Even Tron is up 14%, VeChain 9%, and you get the picture, right? A lot of things are doing very well today, so things are looking pretty darn good. Today's definitely a rally day. And Bitcoin dominance is still relatively low, 54.1%, right? Despite the fact that Bitcoin went up, everything else is moving just as fast. It kind of shows you how strong altcoins are these days. All right, so I already talked about this, right? Coinbase listing. So this is really, I think, the big driver. Of course, Brian Armstrong and his connections and his buddies and a lot of people in the industry, they want to see Bitcoin go higher and higher and higher and higher, right? So maybe they pulled some strings. But it was really no surprise that today or this week you go see some kind of rally. And of course, you know, the big boys like MicroStrategy, Tesla, Square, and so forth, you know, and then among the mining companies and exchanges, and then you look at the funds, you know, like Grayscale, Referral, all these guys, they're making money hands over fist. Man, it's crazy. Like Referral Investment, they're a big investment company in Europe, I believe, UK, it says right here. They invested not too long ago. They made big headlines. No one paid attention that they bought about 550 million euros worth of, or British pounds, I should say. I take that back, sorry. Of Bitcoin, and that was in November. And they have already went up 4x from there. I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. So, yeah. So these guys continue to buy and buy and buy, and retail's getting involved, right? So obviously, things are looking pretty darn good, and they will look even better going forward. All right. So besides the Coinbase and all these big players making a ton of money, we get an endorsement from the former CIA director. We know there's a lot of fear mongers right now, like this title states. And Janet Yellen is one of them, and there's people that wants to put more regulations and this and that. Well, the former CIA director wrote that, you know what, Bitcoin is not really used for illicit finance. It's significantly overstated for use of that. And also, blockchain analysis is actually a highly effective crime-fighting intelligence gathering tool. So he's putting, like, basically he's stamping out the FUD, right? A lot of people just don't get it, especially the government. You know, they tend to always focus on the same thing. But Michael Morrell, a 33-year veteran of the agency, you know, he published this independent paper and talked about how, yeah, all this illicit finance that people are talking about, right, is actually just not true. It's actually very, 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 very low. Look at this. Percentage of illicit activity using Bitcoin from 2012 to 2020, it's less than 1%. It's highly exaggerated. You know, people used to say, oh, people only buy Bitcoin for illicit activities or hiding money or money laundering. And, you know, everyone's doing it. No, it's less than 1%. It's probably like 0.5%, if even at that, right? And same thing. Well, what he said about, you know, using blockchain analysis being a highly effective crime fighting and gathering tool, that's actually really true. That's true. Despite the fact that, yeah, Bitcoin and others, you know, even though it's not privacy, you know, transactions are anonymous, but it's really easy to track the blockchain. Like basically any in and out, and you could track everywhere, right? So if you have the right tools, you can track things very well. So anyways, we get a new ally. We get someone that's dispelling, that's fighting the FUD, and you know what? That's always a good thing. That's always a good thing. What else is there? Let's see. The court. This is good news for Ripple. One of the reasons why Ripple is going up because there's a lot of XRP family that, or XRP army, not family, army, thinks that, you know what, the SEC is going to lose their case against Ripple. So the latest win, I guess, is that the court denies SEC requests seeking years of financial records from Ripple executives. Remember, this case is a little bit different. You know, SEC went after a lot of crypto companies that had a ICO. For example, EOS and also Tezos and also Kin, and there's many others. They all settled, but this is the one where they actually not only went after Ripple, but also the executives of Ripple, including Brad and Chris Larson. And I know you guys know who Chris Larson is, right? But now, of course, like, no. You don't get to look at their financial records. That has nothing to do with the fact that Ripple or XRP might have been sold as a security. So I guess that's a pretty good win. And last week there was, I think last week or 2 weeks ago or something, there was also another win where Ripple demanded to see SEC's internal communication, how it classifies crypto as a security or not. They previously would not give that to Ripple, but you know, they won that case too. So Ripple now knows how they classify so they can defend themselves better. So anyways, this is why Ripple is going up, or XRP is going up, because XRP Army feels like the SEC is going to lose this case. In my opinion, they're going to settle. I've always said that. They will settle. Normally it takes years, but this seems like it's going a little bit faster. So maybe they will settle sooner than later, right? But yeah, that's why XRP is going up. I created a video not too long ago, and I basically said, you know what? Not holding on to some XRP at this point is irresponsible, despite the fact I don't like them. I don't like their economics. Their token economics doesn't really make sense in terms of people that think it will go to $589. But still, when XRP pumps, it really does pump. So yeah. So that's the reason why XRP went up. Also, Consensus is getting a $65 million injection. That's pretty big. Consensus was more or less just funded by Joseph Lubin all these years. He's a Ethereum co-founder, obviously a billionaire, but he lost hundreds of millions of dollars running Consensus, investing in a lot of ICOs and incubating projects that pretty much all died in 2018, 19, 20, right? So now they're coming back. They change their focus to only be on ETH-based projects. But JP Morgan, MasterCard, UBS, the traditional centralized finance, you know, they're investing in Consensus. Kind of shows you everyone wants a strategy. Everyone wants a crypto, well, I say Bitcoin strategy, but they also want a crypto strategy overall. And this is one of their strategies. They're investing in a company that's basically all in on crypto projects, right? So you could see they're completely turning around. They're completely turning around. All right, what else is there? This is a WTF moment. So I tweeted this out, I don't know, I think last night or this morning. I forget. But a New York Stock Exchange is now getting involved with NFTs. And they're basically just selling like I don't know, digital representation of some of the IPOs that happened this year. And it's just an animation. That's it. Like if I click on this, all right, this loads. I guess. All right, let's do this. Okay, so this is what you're buying. Okay, that was pretty much it. That ended sooner. But yeah, basically they have one for Spotify, Roblox, DoorDash, Snowflake, Coupang, and Unity. And I think they already sold because these are listed on Crypto.com's NFT marketplace. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think of it. They're jumping in on something that I think they shouldn't even be involved with. It makes no sense, but it does help give exposure to Crypto.com because Crypto.com does have an NFT marketplace. Crypto.com has been making some big partnerships with Visa and also now with the New York Stock Exchange, I guess. Maybe when the New York Stock Exchange offers direct crypto buying, maybe Crypto.com will be one of the projects that will be listed because they have this tie-up. Who knows? Who knows? But anyways, I kind of shows you the NFT craze is still ongoing. We're nowhere close to to the NFTs I guess fad dying down, right? And you know who else? Time Magazine. Time Magazine is not only did they have NFTs for sale, I didn't know this, they sold covers, they sold NFTs also, but what's good is they partner up with Grayscale. So now they will be holding Bitcoin on the balance sheet. So they didn't declare how much, right? But they will. They will be holding Bitcoin on the balance sheet as all these other public traded companies. I don't even know the financials for Time Magazine. They can't be doing well in a digital world. But anyways, maybe I'm wrong about that. But literally every single mid to large companies, public trade companies, or just companies in general that have a lot of cash on hand, you know, they're all looking to come up with a Bitcoin strategy, right? So this does not surprise me one bit. Not one bit. All right, that's pretty much it. I mean, a lot of excitement today. A lot of excitement over Bitcoin, of course, forming a new high. Let's see where it goes. Let's see where it goes for the rest of today. I think it could go much, much higher. Of course, let's see where the entire crypto market goes because it could also go much higher. Definitely a very exciting day. All right. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, VeChain also had a news too. They introduced a new upgrade which reduces the fees by 99%. I closed it accidentally, so I apologize for that. But that's also the reason why VeChain is going up too. All right, now before I get into Q&A, I have a new sponsor today, Atani. And this is like an all-in-one trading platform, but they have their own benefits. This is out of Europe. They're actually VC backed, and they have a whole bunch of stuff. But the big one is their terminal, right? But they have won a lot of awards. You know, they came out of TechCrunch Disrupt. I don't know if they came out of it, but they did win some award there. But, you know, trading terminal is not really a new thing. There's a lot of trading terminals out there, right? But they do hook up with all the popular exchanges, right? And not only that, they provide real-time alerts to even your phone, you know, with SMS and, of course, email. They, of course, have a ton of charts and technical analysis indicators and all that stuff, right? That's built in. But also what's unique is they have tax reports. So that's actually built in. That's normally a thing that you have to pay extra for, right? I know a lot of people don't want to talk about tax, but they have that built in. And of course, they have security where they don't store your API keys. That's obviously a big deal because if you're going to access all the exchanges, you have to provide API key. They don't store that. And of course, you can manage and track your portfolio in real time and see how much gains that you're making every single minute, right? And there's no additional trading fees and there's exclusive discounts too. That's interesting. So they give you extra trading discounts, you know, at all these exchanges, right? Yeah, and then, you know, this is what it looks like. They'll generate the tax report for you, which is very interesting. I haven't seen any other terminal service do that. That's actually really unique. Charts and TA, real-time alerts, security, non-custodial, military-grade encryption, maximum security, and no KYC. They're not going to ask you for your driver's license or ask you to hold up a picture of you, you know, you saying that, yeah, I'm submitting to whoever with the date and your driver's license, right? They don't ask you to do that. They don't ask you to do that. And you can see here, they made rounds by raising $6.25 million in their latest seed round. And they do have a free plan, which gives you most of this stuff. And they're coming out the premium plan later on. So that's Atani in a nutshell. So if you want to check them out, and it's a free download, it's a desktop app, I have their URL in the description of this video. All right, so that is it. Now I turn to you guys for some good old Q&A. Greg asked about the Chain Game CEO interview. I postponed it. I postponed a lot more interviews because I have a few lined up. I postponed a lot of it because I'm trying to get a new studio going. I'm gonna have a new setup, new everything. I'm actually go probably hire like a producer or something. I need to go big time to compete. Not really, but I just want to up my game. So I'm holding a lot of these interviews back to make it more better and more interactive with you guys. So that's why I postponed that. What percentage of your BTC ETH holdings will you hold throughout this bull market? I actually hold very little ETH. Very, very little ETH in my portfolio. Following the 50-25-25 rule, that 25% for big caps, that's spread out with Binance Coin, actually now XRP, Uniswap, and Theta. I have that spread out. I actually have very, very little ETH. Very little ETH. What do you think about Lina? Linear coin, will it go up 10x at one point? I think I looked at them before. Will it go 10x to 5 billion? Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, that's pretty hard to do, but I don't know. Then again, maybe. First cross-chain compatible Delta 1 ASA protocol. I don't know what that means. Why is it Delta 1 ASA protocol? No idea. But it looks like a financial app. It looks like Atani. I mean, it looks like a promising financial app, but I can't tell you if they're going to go up 10x. Maybe, if they form a lot of good partnerships. And Traction. I think Traction is more like it. I don't like this. It's too encompassing. I honestly don't like NKN, and that's much bigger, but I think it's too big. Bought some nulls last week, looked good, came crashing down ever. What's your thoughts? It did not come down. It did not come crashing down. By your standards of crashing down is like 10 cents? No. Yes, I fully support nulls. I think they have a lot going for them. So once people pay attention to what they're capable of, they will do very well. But please don't exaggerate. Bonley, NFT marketplace, really no thoughts about them. There's too many out there. Blank just announced MXC listing. Well, getting an MXC listing doesn't mean a whole lot. Reclaim privacy on your Ethereum transfers. Blank hides your financial data by mixing transfers. Okay. Obviously not done yet. You have to request early access. Something like this, like I told on Rand's show, will never get listed on a centralized exchange because they are basically hiding transactions, and regulators do not like that. If you want to utilize it, to send and hide your transactions, that's great. But otherwise, I don't think it'll ever be listed on any big exchange. Can you review Dono? They raised like 30,000 donations in less than 24 hours. So I'm assuming they're a fundraising project, which is okay. There's a few that's out there like that, but it doesn't interest me. I mean, it's not something that's going to be blowing up. It's for a good cause, but not something that's going to be blowing up. Dr. Olgan says Elron is in the buy zone. I think they've been doing pretty well. I think yesterday they did pump up a little bit. But, with these, they're up 20%. With these promising chains, smart contract projects, there's really no worry because the ones that are doing well, they're forming a lot of partnerships. They have, NFT marketplaces coming out, more DeFi stuff coming out, and they're becoming interoperable. And there's a whole lot of things with them. So I think they're okay. They're fine to hold. If you have 1,500 to drop in alt, how would you spend it? I can't give you that. You have to determine. That's why I go through these Q&As. I traded my flat ETH for growing KCS. A day later, ETH started going up and KCS started crashing. I hope KCS would go up. What signal did I miss? Well, I've said this too. The Coinbase IPO is going to be a big indicator of what happens next with the exchange tokens because the exchange tokens have been going up to the moon. KCS went from like $2 or $1 to 19. So if tomorrow's Coinbase IPO is outstanding and the shares continue to do well, exchange tokens will continue to blow up. If they don't, if Coinbase IPO flattens and goes down or crashes, which I don't think will happen, but if it does, it won't be good for exchange tokens. So I actually did advise that before the IPO, maybe take some profits out from the exchange tokens, right? But overall, I think KCS is a fantastic exchange. Even if it does go down, it's going to come back up. I mean, I did a dedicated video basically on what they do, and they do literally everything. So they're like a mini Binance. So holding on long term, I think you're okay. AdBank, nah. They're a dead project. What percentage of BTC will you sell at peak of this bull run? It depends. I've said it during my profit taking video. I just created that last night. It didn't do too well, but it's picking up now. I think you guys need to watch it. A lot of you guys that are new in the space, you definitely need to watch it. But it really depends on the fundamentals of what happens at the end of this year. Do I think a top is happening? Do I see Bitcoin dominance drop to like 30% again or even lower? Do I see institutions start saying that they're no longer buying Bitcoin? Do I see that inflation is no longer going up? It really depends on if there's a fundamental thing that makes me think that the top is near. And then I'll make a determination then. But if things are still the way they are, where you still hear about public traded companies and institutions buying and FOMOing to Bitcoin, and, basically everyone adopting it, usage increasing and so forth, and, everything is just going well, then, you know what? I don't think I'm going to take profit then. It really depends on the end of the year. Mohammed, thank you. Have I heard of Kin? Yeah, I have. It's from Kick, but I don't know. They kind of lost a lot of traction there. They lost a lot of traction because of the SEC lawsuit. So I think there's just better buys at this point. Ren, I think I was pretty pro Ren. Now I'm just more neutral because there's so many projects out there that is creating a synthetic token for you to trade, especially with DeFi projects. So I think they may struggle from now on. Hey, what's HTR? Hathor, I remember I looked at them. I forgot what they do. Scalable and easy to use blockchain for digital assets. Building atomic swaps. Okay. They use both DAG and blockchain combined. Interesting. And they're focused on assets, DeFi. Okay. Pretty interesting that they use DAG and blockchain together. It's usually one or the other. Okay. No real thoughts there. I don't know about the team, so I can't really comment on that. What about Deeper Network Decentralized VPN? They're launching a physical product on Indiegogo. Well, there's already decentralized VPNs like Orchid. So I know that there is like products. I saw one that was on Indiegogo that looked really, really promising. It's like a little box that you plug in and that's it. You don't have to do anything else. And it doesn't slow down your connection. It always hides your connection to a different IP. and there is a crypto involved. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but it actually does look very promising. Your sponsor benchmark looks very similar to RSR is doing. Curious if you change your stance on RSR. Well, RSR is still all backed by stable coins that's still pegged to the dollar. So that's why benchmark is different. They're pegged to the SDR, which is not just USD, right? So yeah, very similar, but still different. Not that I expect the USD to collapse tomorrow, right? So there isn't that worry. But if the USD, if the USD inflates, so will stable coins, right? You may not notice if it's still pegged 1-to-1, but still, ultimately, that's what happens. Is BNB an exchange token? Yes, of course. This is the main token for Binance exchanges worldwide. Tracy, appreciate that. Is Chainlink the best Oracle network solution? Yes. Can it go up 10x like Bitcoin and Ethereum? Yes, it went up many hundreds of percents already over the last few years. But if Bitcoin continues to go up 10x, so will Chainlink. And yes, they are the best and the only Oracle network I recommend. Yeah. Doge over BTC? No. What do you think about Audius? Actually, they came back a little bit. I do like them because they have a physical product. They have millions of users already using them, so I like them quite a lot. Someone asked about parse. Parse is interesting. Basically, you could create if-then commands with basically anything on a blockchain, right? So you could create like alerts, custom alerts, and stuff like that. So it's interesting. What about Maker and Yearn Finance? Is it time to sell and buy BTC XRP? I mean, like Maker and Yearn, they have their days. Sometimes they do very well, and then other days they just stall. And they tend to stall a lot. BTC still, if you're not following the 50-25-25 rule, you really need to. Right now, we've been blessed with Bitcoin being stagnant for quite a long time, under 60,000, right? And I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. During this time, man, altcoins went on a fantastic run. And this time here too. So anytime Bitcoin stalls out, altcoins do very, very, very well. But it always comes in phases. So if you're not following, if you don't have a large portion of your portfolio in Bitcoin, you're going to get burned sometimes. If Bitcoin starts shooting up to 80,000, trust me, a lot of altcoins are going to fall. And they're not going to be able to keep up. And same thing when Bitcoin falls like this, Bitcoin holds a lot better than altcoins, right? So make sure you're following a good strategy. I'm not sure what's going on with Pundi. I expected more, but they still have their chain and staking coming out, so we'll see. But I kind of expected after redenomination, they would be doing better, but they really have not. VIDT, this is like a Theta competitor, right? No, maybe not. Blockchain validation and NFT creation. Oh, yeah. I have seen this. Is they partner up with Dago and LTO Network. I don't know. The idea is, let's just say the idea is not a new one. There's just a lot of projects that's in this space, to create NFTs. Like literally every single project is involved in NFT somehow, either creating a marketplace or creating a game or to help people create NFTs. So it's a very, very, very crowded space. I don't know. I'll just say I don't know much about it. But the good thing is it's on two of the most pumpable exchanges out there, Binance and KuCoin. So that's good. But the idea is it's just very crowded. It's very crowded. What do you think about KuCoin token? I just talked about it. I love KuCoin. I think KuCoin is, in terms of Binance, if you can't get on Binance, right, and you can't get on Binance.us, you're very limited in which exchanges that you could use to actually buy a lot of these tokens besides Coinbase Pro and traditional like exchanges like Kraken and Gemini. You could use the Voyager app, but the next, is KuCoin because they have a ton of tokens and you could even buy BNB on them. And today they listed Huobi's token, which isn't too bad either. But yeah, I like KuCoin quite a bit. And they have a whole bunch of stuff too. CRO showing signs of life. I know a lot of people love CRO. Keep asking me, why is it not moving up? Why is it not moving up? Well, because it's above 5 billion already. So in terms of trading volume versus their market cap is actually really outstanding. And they have shot up quite a bit. Today they went up a little more. Mostly I think because the New York Stock Exchange said that they're going to list NFTs with them. So they got a good bump because of it. Aren't you worried about BNB? Is this a consolidation? Why would I worry about BNB? By asking that kind of question, I think because you don't understand how big Binance is. If you truly understood how big Binance is, you would not be worried about that. And why would you be worried? Binance went from like $100 within the last month to $500 or $600. I don't get why you would be worried at all. How long will this bull market last? It could last forever, man. I've been talking about the super cycle. It could keep going. It could keep going. We just got to wait to see what happens toward the latter half of this year and see if anything fundamentally changes. If it doesn't, it could be a super cycle. It could be a super cycle. When are you going to make more videos about VeChain? I mean, I literally created like 4 videos about VeChain within the last month. I have dedicated video about VeChain. I don't think I need to create any more videos about VeChain. I think people know that I'm very bullish on VeChain. I can't speak on Stratos. Don't know much about it. SyncFab. Partner with Lockheed Martin. That's interesting. That's interesting. I think that's pretty much it. When will you expose the truth to Charles Hoskinson? What do you mean by that, Matt? What do you mean by that? Yeah. Have I invested in NFTs? No, I have not. I think I need to let it die down first. It's just too much going on right now with NFTs. Everyone trying to get a piece. Especially with that New York Stock Exchange that's now getting into NFTs, Time Magazine getting into NFTs. Like, really? I understand athletes and musicians, celebrities. It makes sense for them. A lot of them do it for fundraising purposes, but like for New York Stock Exchange to do it, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It really doesn't. All right, going back to Bitcoin 63.2. All right, well, let's call it a day. So the day is still young, but finally Bitcoin broke into a new high. They're 63,200 right now, and the entire crypto market, man, is going up. It's going up. We're going to be touching 2.2 trillion pretty soon. And there are a lot of coins that are pumping. So overall, today's a pretty good day. Bitcoin dominance is also coming down slightly. We'll see how the rest of the day turns out. I think it's going to be good, but who knows? Tomorrow, Coinbase IPO, that is going to be a huge thing. It's going to be a huge, absolutely huge thing. So obviously, the higher Bitcoin and crypto market goes, the better the Coinbase IPO will go. So we'll see. And if Coinbase IPO goes really well, then in flip side, it's going to have a positive effect on everything else too. So it's one of those synergy moments that we can see a lot of positivity come from it. All right, guys, that is it. Thanks for tuning in. I do plan on creating a video for Patreon for those of you guys that are interested. So I'm going to share more thoughts about the IPO coming up and a few new projects. But Make sure you smash the like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and stay tuned to my stream tonight, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you hit that notification bell and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. All right, guys, have a good one. Take care.